It's Gabriel.
It's Bailey.
And this is CYMK.
Hello and welcome to the CYMK podcast. Today I'm joined by the lovely Shaydee Watson, Curatorial Assistant and Cultural District Manager here at the San Angelo Museum of Fine Arts.
Yes, thank you.
In case you didn't know, Shaydee is the one that is hard at work behind the scenes, unpacking and hanging artworks in the galleries for each of our exhibitions. In collaboration with Laura, our curator, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, so Shaydee today is here to give us the inside scoop on our most recent exhibition, the 25th San Angelo North American Ceramic Competition in loving memory of Darlene Williams. The show is open now and will be on display until June 23rd, 2024. Welcome,
Perfect.
Shaydee.
Thank you. I believe this is my third interview.
Yes.
I love doing these. They're so
Yes.
much fun.
You're so fun to interview because you have so
good.
many good stories.
I know. I've been at the museum 10 years
Yeah.
as of March of this year. So 10 years.
Gosh.
So I've seen some stuff.
Yeah. Some inside baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
Good and bad, right?
Yes. But they're all learning, you know, so you learn.
Exactly.
But yeah, gosh, that's a long time. I've met so many artists and seen so many exhibits and handled so much expensive artwork.
Oh my gosh, that would just drive me insane.
It's honestly better not to know how much certain things are.
Right.
So sometimes Laura will talk about, oh, did you know this is this much? And I'm like, no, not listening.
I'd rather not know.
Yes. I'd rather not know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But anyway, so the ceramic competition, we do the invitational and the ceramic competition every other year. So they alternate. And this year, of course, was the competition. And the ceramic shows the competition specifically are my favorite.
Yeah.
But they are the hardest show to put together.
I bet.
I absolutely love it so much because all the artists are, they're from all over, and you get to see all the different ways that clay can be manipulated and formed, and it's shocking.
Yeah.
Well, you've created some pieces, so you kind of
and it's wild still what I see other people can do. It's just amazing.
I am appreciative of ceramic artists. I myself do not make clay pieces. I'd like to one day, but I can definitely appreciate.
Yeah, it's such a high risk medium. You work hours and days and weeks on something that might break, or it might blow up in the kiln, or the glaze didn't go on right. And I also have an appreciation for them. Yeah.
You think about all the steps that go into it just to hope that it comes out with that last firing.
Just to cross your fingers.
And then you open it and you realize, oh, it's stuck to the shelf or whatever.
Yeah. That's why I love acrylic and oil. I can basically control every aspect until the very end.
That's true.
Process.
Oil is very forgiving.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what do you want to know?
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about several aspects. The first one I want to talk about is it's more than just a national competition. We get submissions from all over North America. Right.
From Canada and Mexico.
Yes. So we get these pieces shipped to us, and sometimes people have all sorts of different processes for how they ship and pack artwork, and I want to know how it is for you to unpack those like hundreds of pieces as they come in.
And they literally are hundreds. I think one year we had around 115, 117, and that is a lot of ceramic works to unpack and figure out where you're going to put it. Now, because pieces come from all over, what's my favorite is when they'll just drive them here.
Yeah.
So we do have people drive in from Utah, Colorado, Oklahoma, and that's a ways, but they still would rather their piece survive than gamble with it in the, shipping it.
Yeah.
Now with that, once they're accepted into the competition, one of the things that is sent out before they ship out their piece is a how-to instruction on how to ship ceramic works.
Okay.
I'm talking step by step. This is the situation that works. Do not waver.
Yeah.
But they still do.
Of course.
Because, most artists, like myself, don't have a lot of extra money. So you try to figure out the best way you can on a dime or whatever. But I think one of my biggest pet peeves is that as an artist myself, you put hours and hours and hours of work into this, ceramic artwork or whatever medium yours is, and then you don't put any into shipping it.
Oh, how do you not worry?
So
oh my
that's
goodness.
what bothers me is like, okay, I know you spent, let's say 100+ hours on this, but it looks like you only thought about it for 24 hours to ship it. So no wonder it didn't survive.
Yeah. Oh, and it's such a bummer when they do show up and they're broken.
I know. And you can always hear it in there.
Oh, no.
So when you're picking
crackles.
the box up and you just kind of, even if you're just picking it up directly off the floor to the table, you can hear something jingling and
No.
it's not going to be good.
Oh.
You're always hoping that it's just like a little piece that went in the air pocket,
Sure.
and it's just nothing that will matter. But no, it's usually not. We had around, I think, 7 pieces this year that were broken.
Is that average for the show or what's kind of
Yeah, I
normal?
think that's about norm.
Yeah.
6 to 8, somewhere in there.
And some of them were big jobs to fix up, and some of them were probably quick fixes.
Yeah, those easy, clean breaks are so easy to fix. I say that like I do it. I don't do it. No, we have Casey Dilworth at the Concho Clay studio. She fixed all of our works this year, and we're very grateful for her. Otherwise, I don't know what we would have done.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't go on the show.
And she did a phenomenal job. We had this beautiful blue bowl that it was clay mixed colors. Again, I'm not a ceramic artist, so I don't know all the technical terms, but the clay was mixed and it was this beautiful bowl, and it came in maybe 10, 12, 15 pieces.
Oh no.
And she put that thing together like it was a jigsaw puzzle, and you can't even tell it was broken.
Wow.
It's a really beautiful piece. I was floored. I'm like, holy moly,
Right.
look what you can do.
So to avoid that, what is a good version of a packing for ceramics?
So to pack ceramics and have it shipped across the country, we recommend you use 2 boxes, first of all. So we call that a floating method. So whatever your ceramic piece is, obviously you need to have that encased in maybe bubble or a plastic bag just for some sort of protection, because if something does break, you also want it contained so that it's easy to find, to repair, along with any shards or whatever like that. So bubble, some sort of baggie, you put that in the inner box, floated in peanuts.
Okay.
And packing peanuts. So it's floating around loosely in there. There's nothing pressing against it. You can have some padding around the walls, but it really needs to float within that packing peanuts. And then that box, that inner box, goes in a bigger box, and it also floats in packing peanuts.
So it's like a gyroscope.
Yeah. So no matter if someone was to drop kick it, you've seen movies where they do silly things like that with the packaging, it will survive because it won't actually take any impact. It will shuffle around within there.
That is so smart.
And you need that outer box really does need a little extra, maybe not a whole lot, maybe like 1.5 inches between those two, where it can just kind of shuffle around and it's gentle that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the pieces that came, there are so many that arrived in not great shape.
Oh, no.
I laugh because some of the things artists use
Yeah.
is very inventive. So sometimes when we receive artwork in, it is creatively packaged.
Creatively.
Again, most artists, sometimes they're on a dime, so they're doing their best, even with our directions. And this is really what works better. If you do this, the chances of it surviving are very likely. But we've had some artists that are like, no, I know better.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've had, so the majority of the work that comes in, not packaged the way we suggest, is in bubble only.
Oh, okay.
Just bubble only, 1 box, maybe some padding, the end. And most of the time it does survive.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do if I didn't have like written instructions for me.
Yeah, and most of the time it does survive. Even if you double box it, the chances of it surviving are higher, even just in bubble. Now, if you have something on your ceramic piece that is maybe small and protrudes out the side, if you wrap it tightly in bubble and then just ship it that way, any jolt is going to break it.
Shoot.
That's why floating it in peanuts is so much better.
Yeah.
But again, it mostly survives. Now, we have had people ship surprisingly without anything. We had a really large ceramic piece ship. I think it was called, I forget what it was called. Anyway, maybe that's not good to say anyway. But it was a really large ceramic piece, and it had like these little things protruding off of it, and it was just cardboard. It was in a cardboard only. I know that you don't believe me, but it really was.
How crazy.
And in between the top and the bottom piece of cardboard were these more cardboard like pillars, like just cones kind of things, just keeping the top and the bottom from crushing. And that was it. And it made it.
Goodness.
It survived. There were rips in the packaging. It was ripped open on corners, but it was completely fine. And it just has to be because the handlers that day, whoever was the person that moved and transported, took care of it.
Actually saw the fragile sticker.
Yes. And that alone is how it survived, because otherwise I don't know how it would have.
Wow.
And it was large.
Wow.
It was, I'm not talking like, oh, it's just 12 inches. No, it was probably like 20 inches by like 17 something. Very large wall piece.
I wonder why they're not worried about it breaking in transit.
I don't know. Maybe this was, first time shipping something. They thought, oh, that should be fine.
Yeah.
No. So, but it was really shocking that it survived.
Yeah.
Other times we've had people use boat cushions.
What is that?
Boat, like in the water, a boat.
A
like the
literal
cushion you sit on when you're driving the boat. Like boat cushions, foam. Those like egg crate foam stuff, which deteriorates. So sometimes it's old.
Yeah.
We've had packing peanuts with leaves and bugs in them.
Oh no, not the bugs.
Yeah.
Not the bugs.
And from an educational standpoint, if you send packing peanuts with dirt, leaves, and bugs in them, we have to throw them away.
Well, yeah.
Because of our permanent collection, we have to maintain its safety, and we can't have bugs in that room. Absolutely not.
I can't imagine they knew it had bugs.
I don't know how you did not see the giant leaves and bugs.
Oh no.
And sometimes things fall on the ground. You're like, oh, that's still good. And you like scoop it up with your broom or whatever. Anyway, yeah, not good.
Maybe they just had it in their basement. They're like, there's my box of peanuts. That's 6 years old.
You could see them. It was the whole box.
No.
We had to chunk all of it. So, and then what happens in that case, and the piece doesn't sell, when we ship it back, it goes back with completely clean and really nice
upgrade
packaging.
I was about to say, so these packages that come in that are, a hazard to the piece, we ship them back.
Yes, if they don't sell,
very well.
Which we're always like, I hope you sell.
Yeah.
For everything, honestly. But if it's packaged not the best, we try to ship it back better than it came.
Good, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every piece. And then some pieces that come in, like if someone's built a specific crate, we're in awe. We're like, look at this crate.
Yeah.
It's like, take the piece out. Let's look at the crate. Look at this amazing thing. Who cares about the piece?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But, oh man, I really appreciate a good crate.
Yeah. Well, and Ariel, who used to work here, of course, she showed me her packing method for her, obviously, intricate pieces, and she had like cutouts of foam to the exact shape of her piece, and beautiful.
I really loved her. Before I met her and really knew her, when I opened her packaging, I was like, this person knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's reasons why we can't keep certain materials and send it back. We've had animal hair in there, like let's say you have a cat and your cat really loves hanging out in the studio.
Okay, well that's relatable to me.
Yes, I have a cat too. Totally get it, and they love you so much and they rub all over your stuff, and then it's like, oh hey, look, there's some cat hair in here too.
Yep. I have an oil painting in my house right now with cat hair stuck to it, and I'm like, they're just leaving their mark.
No judgment, but we have to, discard of it and start over. And so we do always send things back better than they came.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but I am still always surprised how some things show up.
I just, ceramic artists are a whole breed of like laid back, funny, kooky people in the best way. So like
Yes.
that kind of shows through when their pieces come in.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. And then we did have something unusual. It was a toilet paper roll.
Oh no.
That one was a first,
Just the roll or like
Well, the roll was still attached, but they had wrapped it around the piece. And, maybe that's all they had.
they're like, I
And
need some cushion. I'm almost done with this roll of toilet paper.
it was clean, and I was happy that it was, there was.
The roll.
So I unwrapped everything gently, and we threw that away, and we'll start over.
Maybe that was part of the artwork.
No, it really wasn't. I can tell you it was not.
That is so wild.
But so that's
Toilet
the
paper.
process. And, we keep everybody's boxes that came in unless they're absolutely destroyed. And then we start over. But everybody does the best I know that they can to get their work here, but put a little more effort into it. We honestly had an art piece that was hand delivered. So drove in, hand delivered it. And we had something still broken.
Oh.
This is the first time I've ever seen that. And it must have happened in transit, which, maybe it was pressure was put on something and hit a bump or whatever. But it was pretty surprising.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Because they drove it in and then it still was broken.
Just to avoid all that mess, and then it still happened.
So
well,
you never know.
ceramics, like I said, high risk.
High risk, definitely. So once it's all unpackaged, and then we got to figure out where it goes.
So the next part is setting up the actual exhibit, which I don't even know where you begin, honestly.
There are a few things we consider before we start, and we always think about the largest pieces.
Yeah, okay.
That has to be the first thought at all, is like, where's the biggest pieces we have, installation pieces or large wall hangings or whatever, has to be the first thought. And it's either going to be, it needs to be in a prominent place. So it's something that will catch your eye and pull you into the gallery, or it's there. I don't know if you remember, maybe you weren't here. There was a really large installation piece that was rubber bands.
Rubber bands?
They were giant rubber bands. I mean, the size of us. Like one rubber band was the size of us.
That.
And they were, these big oval rubber bands that just piled on each other like a mountain in the gallery. So yeah, like 8 feet tall of rubber bands. So that one obviously had to be positioned in first.
Yeah.
And gallery 3 is the place where we put the biggest works most of the time.
Oh, in 3. Okay.
There was one exception with the woman that was hanging from the ceiling. We did have to make sure that the cables could support it, and that's why we put it in one.
Yes. I think it looked really good in Gallery 1 because you can go up on that balcony and get different angles, and it was just really a statement piece.
Yeah, I agree. That, and thankfully those artists came and installed it together. It was a team. They both worked on that piece together.
That was one of my questions for you later on or whenever, is artists sometimes come and help set up their pieces?
Yes, we love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially if it's crazy intricate setup.
So one of the main pieces, first pieces we had to set up this year was in Gallery 3. The artist was coming to install it, which we wanted her to because it looked terrifying to install. It's the woman in the middle of Gallery 3 with the basket and the twigs.
Yes.
And so that all those little pieces in her basket on her head are separated. So she put those in there herself.
That one I believe is called, is that Misty Gamble's Partridge Plymouth Rock?
Yes, that sounds right.
Okay. If not,
And so that also was, we had to strategically plan where to put that one because she also cannot deinstall it until a couple days before our next opening.
Oh boy.
So for the next opening, we are going to be installing the artwork around that, and then that will be one of the last things deinstalled. So there's all that has to go into thinking about where does this piece go.
Right.
But we always start with the largest installations and then work down to the smallest ones. So we get the big ones in place, and then the rest is easy, so to speak.
Okay.
It's pedestals and artwork.
Wow. So, okay. in Gallery 1, we have CJ Carter's The Lighthouse, which I know is it's the huge piece in Gallery 1, but it's got multiple pieces on it.
Yes.
So you had to put that together.
Yes, we put that piece together.
Oh my gosh.
And thankfully, that artist came and talked to us a little bit about things. And it was, thankfully, it's in layers because that thing is very large.
Yes. Yeah. I can't imagine it being one piece. So.
No. And we had to get a ladder. Like both of us had to have ladders and stand up and on top of that and lift that. We didn't even, it was just Laura and I did that.
Wow.
Whoa.
How does it fit together?
It just kind of nestles together. Each little piece nestles into each other.
Yeah.
And we did have to adjust some things once we figured out one of the legs wasn't going to be able to be on the ped. So we had to shift things and made it work. That piece is phenomenal.
Yeah,
they did a
is.
really great job on that piece.
So I'm guessing that was one of the first ones that went into Gallery 1.
Yes. That was the second piece that went in there. So the first piece was those yellow plates on the back wall. We wanted to find the piece that would work and just pull people in. And so that those beautiful yellow plates, which remind me of I don't know, lemon meringue pie or something.
Yeah.
They're tasty looking.
Very spring colors.
So that yellow pulls you in. But I mean, CJ's piece is so phenomenal too.
Yeah.
And they drove that in. I'm so glad.
Yeah, gosh.
Yes. And I was really hoping they would stay and put it together. But yeah, they had to be somewhere else.
You got it.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, is that so?
I was wondering if they drove it in because it would have to be shipped in several shipments because it's so big and it would be heavy.
Yeah, there was 5 or 6 boxes, and we did some touch ups and things like that because. The worst sound in the world is the grinding sound of ceramics shifting.
Yeah.
And so some of that happened.
Of course. It's bound to happen.
I mean, it's a really large piece. But yeah, so that one, also any movable walls we have to put in place, and the invited artists too. We plan that one first. Normally we have them in Gallery 3. This year we wanted to put them in 1 and change it up. And man, I love those pieces.
It looks good in 1.
Yeah.
So he has works that are behind some plexiglass boxes.
Yes.
Why did we decide to do that?
Because they're very, very pricey.
That's
why.
That makes sense.
And their value is very high. Beautiful work.
Yeah.
But a lot of times the smaller, more delicate pieces we do put behind boxes like that, because a little bump from a purse or, you back into it.
A kid on a chore or something.
Bumps your head, anything. It's not, we don't want that.
I remember last year we had the cowboy and he was holding a knife or something. But he had just little legs and he was top heavy and he stood on his little legs and it looked like he was even not super level. So it was that is a scary piece to walk by. A gust of wind.
I want to say we have had instances where, let's say, a piece like that has a metal rod in his leg. And so we drill a hole in the pedestal to accommodate. And I want to say we did do that because the stability on that piece was not the best. So in order to keep it from falling, there was a bolt or something.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad. Stabilize him.
So we just drill a hole in our pedestals and then fill them later and make them look good.
Well, the pedestals are replaceable. The art is not.
Right.
Okay. I have a couple pieces that I wanted to specifically ask you about.
Oh,
one of
sure.
them was the lighthouse, which we talked about. So that's good. We got that one. Answer that question. David Furman's The Art Reception. So that's the plate of cheese and crackers.
Oh, yeah.
The little charcuterie board.
I love that piece.
Is each cracker an individual ceramic?
Yes.
You arranged all those little pieces?
Oh, no. They're attached, thankfully.
Oh, they're attached.
I mean, they are individually created,
Yes,
but then they're
yes.
attached. Even the little knives, the cutting knives, those are ceramic too. At first I thought they weren't, but they are.
It's so realistic.
Yeah, it's all attached, thankfully.
Okay, I thought maybe you had to look at a picture and rearrange it to be
thankfully.
exactly. Yeah.
I really love pieces like that, and I wish they had the option to hang.
Yeah.
That piece did not hang. It was only on, could be set on the table, but plates like that, or something that's like a plate with things on it. I think it would be so much more fun if you had the option to hang it.
I think it'd be cool, but I think you wanted to keep the air of realism.
Sure. And I get that. But I love hanging ceramic works. They're my favorite. And we didn't have as many this year.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about hanging some of the hanging works. Is that similar to hanging a painting?
Usually, but most ceramic artists, it's an afterthought as to how to
Oh.
hang a ceramic art piece. And as someone who hangs them, I wish it was the first thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like plates. You can create a plate on the potter's wheel, and then on the lip on the backside, you can do wire around it and twist it and hang it that way. But that could slip and it could come off. And so when I worked at the Chicken Farm Art Center, I saw one of the best ways to ever hang plates, and that's the way Roger Allen did it. And he would, during greenware, he would put 2 holes. Actually, it was when it was wet. He would put 2 holes in the lip of, maybe that's what it's called, I hope. Anyway, the lip on the underside, and then, it dries, and then you sand it and clean it out a little more. You glaze it and fire it, and those holes are still there, and then you wire it.
Okay.
You put that wire in it, clamp it, boom, done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not slipping. It is not falling.
Foolproof.
And you can use it if you want for a party, clean it, hang it back up.
Yeah. Well, he definitely thought about, some people are going to want to
so
show
impressed.
this on their wall.
Yes.
And yeah.
But it's those afterthoughts that, I'm just not a fan of.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess sometimes it works, but Velcro is not a good option. Okay, guys.
Ceramics is heavy.
I've seen a lot of Velcro solutions, and it has
Ooh.
not ended well. And this West Texas heat, when something's hanging on a long while with Velcro, it loosens and slides.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to keep in mind for the future.
So if you ever want to
hang
make
ceramics,
yes,
no Velcro.
please think of the hanging first,
Yeah.
not last.
Yeah, good advice.
So one of my favorite pieces,
I'll insert it right here. It is Claire McCauley's Exploration.
it's in Gallery 2, and the artist has created a little world within a dome.
Yes.
And it's behind a Plex box hanging on the wall because it's so small. And there's like little tiny like grass shards, and this little creature in there that I just love, and like rabbits. And it's just a little imaginative world. I love it so much.
Yeah,
and
it's
thankfully it sold
cute.
because
all good.
it did sell. I was like, oh, good.
Was that the artist that had like drawings on their box when
Yes.
it came in? Tell me about that.
Oh, yes. That one definitely, I was like, well, this one's getting extra attention because look how cool this person is.
Yeah.
Yes, it had all these cool little drawings like, please take care of me, I'm fragile, and these cute little like chubby creatures on it.
On
and
the
so,
shipping box.
yeah.
So then you unpack and see this amazing piece that
Oh, yeah.
matches the vibe.
Totally.
and-
I loved that piece so much.
Very cool. I'm so glad it sold.
I know, me too, because then I don't feel bad not buying it.
Yeah, right.
Now I follow that artist on Instagram too.
Yeah.
So you can plug them here
This is their art. It's behind
if
me.
you want. But yeah, I was trying to think if there was any other pieces that was just something extraordinary or just unusual.
So many of them are just amazing. There's that big flat-ish panel on the wall that looks like it's just like shards and chips.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I'm surprised.
And like found things.
Yeah.
So I did get to talk to that artist, and we were talking about found objects and how we use them. And I'm like, oh, this is my precious little gift now that I found on the road, whatever.
Yes.
And she just thought that was hilarious. So
I'm sure she can relate.
yeah, there's all kinds of neat little things in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's also 2 guitars in Gallery 1.
Yes.
And one of them has a bottle of water in it. And
Oh, I
it's
didn't
water
notice
from a
that.
lake. Of course, I don't remember the lake name. I'm the worst. I'm just like, oh, I love this piece.
That's all right.
I don't know enough about it. But it's water from a lake, and she used it in her piece.
Yeah, that's so cool. I
Isn't that
love
neat?
integrating the mixed media and the different things like
Mhm.
that. Those guitars are cool.
Yeah, so even though it's a ceramic show, as long as there is ceramic a part of the piece, it can have mixed media in it.
Okay.
It can also be a collaboration piece.
Yeah.
So
like,
you can have 2 people work on one
cool.
piece. Mhm.
Yes.
And I love that too. That's
Yeah.
nice, but
That is cool.
very good.
Very cool. I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of our 25th ceramic competition this year. The sponsors we have to thank are the San Angelo Museum Endowment for Ceramic Events, Darlene and John Williams, the Child Heritage Foundation, the San Angelo Area Foundation, Texas Commission on the Arts, and J. Christopher Sugg. I just wanted to thank those guys for the amazing show. It really is an amazing show, just like it is every year. I'm in the same boat as you, as it's like, it's one of my favorites that we do reoccurring. So it's a good show.
And John and Darlene have been here very long time. And I love Darlene and John so much. So I'm sad that I didn't get to see John when he was here.
Yeah.
So
next time.
Little hug into the universe for John and Darlene.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining me today, Shaydee, and tell me a little bit about the process of setting up exhibits, especially with this crazy kooky 25th ceramic competition. So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but you get to meet all kinds of really neat people from all over.
Yeah.
And that's one of the pros and instead of the cons.
Yeah, right.
It's like, okay, I opened a package with some leaves in it, but look at all these amazing people that came.
And the artist is probably a really cool person.
Yeah, and they did their best.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had fun. Thank you, Bailey.
Yeah, thank you. All right, goodbye.